Math Lesson 121. You'll start the day with the number of the day for 121, counting by threes and fours. Threes and fours. You'll see how important that is as you're learning your times threes and times fours. Practice your flashcards for times three. If you haven't made them yet, now's the time to make them. And do the class fact practice for the times threes. Have someone check your number of the day and your times threes. Stop the video to work and come on back. You will need this sheet, and you will also need some small items that you can arrange into arrays. If you have your color tiles, that would be perfect. If you have a group of pennies, that would be perfect. I'm going to use some buttons. That'll be perfect. The lesson that we're looking at is right here, making and labeling an array. An array is just putting things in rows and columns. First of all, here's a row. Rows are always horizontal, which might make you a little mixed up because in school we always called the rows going back and forth or up and down of our desks, but that would really be a column, anything that goes back and forth. A column is like a piece of wood that holds up your porch roof, and so if you think about it as the piece that holds up the roof, you'll remember that columns go up and down. So let's make a 2 by 4 array. The rows always come first. So we're going to need 2 rows with 4 in each row. There's my first row of 4. Excuse me. My second row of 4. The shape of the buttons has nothing to do with it, just the numbers. So we have 2 rows, 4 in each row. Can you figure out how many buttons that is? A 2 by 4 array is, you got it, 8 buttons. If you've heard the word 2 by 4 before, it's because they use it, you may have heard it as your parents buy a piece of wood. And that means 2 inches one way, 4 inches another way. So if you look at it from the side, it would look like this. And then they also buy it by length, by how many feet long. Let's make a 3 by 4 array. Remember, the rows come first. So there's my 2 rows of 4. Now I need a 3rd row. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a 3 by 4 array. You can count by 4s to figure out how many you have. 4, 8, 12. Now, what if you did it backwards? What if you did 4 rows of 3? This is the same number, 12 buttons, but it's not a 3 by 4 array. We always do how many rows first. This is a 4 by 3 array. All right, we need 5 rows with 2 in each row. 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, 5 rows. A 5 by 2 array is how many? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, or we could count by 5s. 5, 10. 10. If you're looking at this sheet, let's label these arrays. First, we count the rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we count the columns, 1, 2, 3. A 4 by 3 array has how many units? Right in the middle, we'll write 12, because 4 times 3 equals 12. What's in this array? It's exactly the same thing. If I was going to turn my paper this way, I could say it's a 3 by 4 array, and a 12, that's 12. Or if I'm looking at it this way, it's a 4 by 3. You figure out what this big one is. How many rows and how many in each row? Can you figure it out? 4 by 7, or 4 times 7, equals 28. Next, you'll work on this sheet, have someone check it, and your lesson 121 is finished.